I'm Jenny Tech with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. How are we doing today?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good.
Are we?
Good. Yeah.
Really? The Clippers got the kind of break last night that only LeBron usually gets, so maybe God is now a Clippers fan.
Don't do that.
I think he might have turned around on you.
Larry Bird Jr.
Really? Did he get the dub or the L?
Nah, he didn't get the dub.
I'd say he came to your restaurant last night, but it's shut down, unless you're serving outside.
Yeah, I got a little patio out there.
You do? Okay, good. I was worried about your restaurant, Shannon. It's been a while since we brought it up. Interesting you bring up that win. How about we talk about everything that went into the Clippers win last night? Luka Doncic dropped 42 points last night, which was an NBA record for a playoff debut, but it wasn't enough to get a win against the Clippers after Kristaps Porzingis got ejected in the third quarter. Porzingis started to get into it with Marcus Morris after the Clippers forward and Luka got tangled up. Porzingis was automatically thrown out since it was his second technical of the game. Shannon, should Porzingis have been ejected?
Skip, he just has to be more careful. He has to be more cognizant of what's going on. First of all, he shouldn't have got the first technical because that was a clean block on Paul George to begin with. So that, Skip, there's emotion in the ball game. I mean, when someone does something, I mean, it's just like any sport. You get like, come on, man, I can't, that's bull jive. And they teed him up for that. But this is what I want people to understand. And I want Adam Silver, I need you to take a look at this. That Kane Fitzgerald now, there's nobody down in the bubble. But a lot of times he thinks people come to see him referee.
That is true. I agree.
Because he's the guy that threw LeBron out because LeBron asked him a question once upon a time.
I remember
So
well.
he's quick with his whistle. Kane Fitzgerald, nobody's coming to see you ref the games. Skip, it changed the entirety complexion of the ball game because when Porzingis went out, they were up 5. They lost their rim protection. They lost their second best scoring option, and they lost their second chance opportunity because after that they could get no second chance. They couldn't get second rebounds. And the big guy, what's his from the Clippers?
Zubac.
Zub. He was playing volleyball with it. Back to himself, dunking it home. He had 5 offensive rebounds. That hurt him, Skip. It really did. And they were playing well. It was a nice 2-man game. But once you could tell kind of like the energy just drained. Luka tried to keep it going. He was giving everybody the business last night, Skip. He was special last night. But I think the biggest thing was for him early in the ball game, Skip, he was too hyped. He had 5 turnovers in the first 3 minutes. It seemed like
4, I think.
Yeah.
4? 5?
Yeah.
Is it 5?
Yeah,
anyway,
I think
go
5.
ahead.
But he was Skip, he was just too, I got 5 for the first 3 minutes of the game. He was just too anxious. You know, he knows what this is, playoffs. I'm in the playoffs. This is my opportunity. I'm going against the Clippers, one of the better teams. And once he settled into the game, he played outstanding. But, Skip, that technical foul changed the complexion of the ball game because he got that second technical at the time. And when he got it, the whole momentum shifted and the Clippers just took off because up until that point, they were averaging 120 offensive rating. And after that, it was 18. They went 3 of 19 from the three-point line after he left. In the first half, Skip, remember, they were 12 of 21. They couldn't miss. And then all of a sudden, Porzingis went out and they couldn't make a shot. So he changed the complexion of the ball game. I do not believe, by the letter of the Skip, since we do it, the letter of the law, he received this technical foul. You get 2 techs, you get automatically tossed. But I don't believe he should have got a tech for that because what did he do? Walk up on a guy? Come on. In a playoff game, you got to let that one go. You let the combatants determine it on the field, on the court. You don't throw one of the better players out and then says, okay, go play now. So I do think it had a big impact on the game. Now, who knows? Maybe the Clippers win. Clippers started playing a little better. But I would have liked to seen had Porzingis stayed in that ball game, what the outcome would have been.
Okay. I am going to concede this.
You concede?
I told you yesterday I thought this would be the Clippers' toughest series because the Clippers were playing only their 13th full roster game out of the 73 they have played so far this year.
Okay.
And all you needed to know about last night was Montrezl Harrell played 15 minutes after not having played a single dribble of NBA basketball for 5 months. Doc threw him in there for 15 minutes. And there were times he looked like he'd never played basketball before because that's about what's going to happen if you ask him to do that. It's just completely surreal to be seen. Montrez with no bubble games, no scrimmages, 3 of those, no real games, 8 of those, and just suddenly go play. Okay, how?
And he was tired because remember Doc called a timeout and Doc said, you gotta run. He's like, I'm trying.
I'm trying, Coach.
But my body won't let me.
So I'm going to concede to you that I believe the Clippers would have lost this game if Porzingis had stayed eligible for the rest of the game. It's going to be a tough, long series for them. But if they can find their groove, their rhythm, their flow, if they can figure out how to play together under playoff pressure, once they start to click, you're going to be in trouble. I just don't know how long that's going to take because Dallas on offense is extraordinary. Remember, they set the all-time record for offensive rating, whatever that second level stat is, but they set it all time. Nobody had ever had an offensive rating like the regular season Dallas Mavericks. And you saw it in surges last night because it was a bizarre game. The Clippers come out and blow them off the floor 18-2. Then they give up. The Clippers did a 48-14 run. Are you kidding me? So would they have sustained that kind of run through the third quarter? It was 9-10 in the third quarter when he was ejected. Okay, now back to the first foul, the block in the first tech. Okay, I thought, if we could see that play, I thought that Porzingis hit Paul George on the right arm first. It's the first contact is on the right arm. I don't know if we can see it sideways. I thought he got him. He was a clean block, but he goes up and he gets him on the right arm first. He hit him right across his elbow. That's a foul. He hits him on his right elbow clean and hard, and then he clean blocks it. Okay, whatever. I would have called a foul. But the problem is, it is the letter. It's not even the letter of the law. It's just flat out in the rule book. If you throw a fist in the air in the direction of the referee, it comes off as a hostile act, and they're just going to say, technical foul. And Porzingis, ironically, is not a guy who complains a lot.
No.
He's not a fighter. He's not a bad guy. He's not a troublemaker. You know, it's not that guy. He's kind of soft to me. That's his problem. He's still a little soft. So he just throws a fist in the air. And it's just silliness. He's not even thinking twice about it. Tech. Okay? Now you're in trouble. Now you're on thin ice because if you get another one and you have to be mindful, you're our second best player. Some people might even think he's the first best, but he's 1-2, 2-1. And you better stay eligible the rest of the game or you're going to lose the basketball game. Okay, so then what happens the next time? This is 9-10 left in the third quarter. Marcus Morris was doing a pretty good job on Luka. He was doing the best job of any defender on Luka. Marcus Morris is a tough guy.
He is.
And look at his plus-minus for the game.
He had the best of anybody.
He was by far plus 25. So when he was on the floor for his 32 minutes, his team won the game by 25 points. And he held Luka to 3 of 6 shooting. Everybody else held him 9 of 14. He was doing more damage to other people. Marcus is shrewd, sly, physical. I'm not saying he's a dirty player, but he is going to get up in you. He is going to punish you and make you earn it physically from him. So in that case, Luka got him. And he knew Luka had him. And so he just said, okay, I'm not going to let you go and won me. I'm just going to wrap you up. And I thought he did so by his standards, fairly gentlemanly. Like he just sort of held on to him. Luka, who gets roughed up by everybody, because remember, the book on Luka Doncic, get physical, rough him up, and try to knock him emotionally, psychologically out of the game.
That's the book on all European players.
Okay, but that's what happened to start that game. You're saying 5 turnovers in the first, whatever it was, minutes. But he got piranha'd, man. They were just coming at him from all angles because they are going. You just know what Doc was preaching and teaching in shoot around and meeting. We are going to get physical with him. Try to knock him out of his comfort zone, off his game. Okay. So now Marcus wraps him up, as we see. And now Luka, who's been beat on the whole game, he doesn't love it. So he shoves back a little bit and sort of shrugs it off. And now, to Porzingis' credit, he says, I'm not going to let my little baby brother take that kind of abuse from Marcus Morris, because he knows Marcus Morris is known as an enforcer type tough guy. So he comes over just to stake his claim and back up. his little brother. And I'm good with that.
Right.
I liked it. I was like, way to go,
Right.
Kristaps. You know, that shows me something. You would do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so he comes over, and all he did was put a hand on Marcus Morris's chest. He didn't shove him. He just did a stop sign. Like, okay, that's enough.
Right.
Straight out here, but not here.
Right.
Marcus obviously shoved back.
Right.
Okay, boom. Now it goes up, and Kane Fitzgerald is saying, okay, technical on you and technical on you. Both of them get a technical. Unfortunately, one guy's already got one, and he's gone.
Exactly.
Okay, I don't like the refereeing. I don't like the okay, and they said we can't be aware that he already has a technical. Yeah, you are.
You do.
You come on.
Yeah, because you gave it to him.
You gave it to him, and he's trying to say we can't process that as part of what's happening. You know, this has to be independent of the first technical. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's not good. It's not fair refereeing. It's not smart refereeing.
Right.
The smart refereeing would be just to break that up and let it go.
Correct.
But
Correct.
They
That is
said,
correct.
You know, it's like he's the guy who's coming in to incite. You know, he's going to provoke.
No.
And it's always the first guy in. But even if Marcus responds, then But they gave both of them a technical.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what Skip. He's basically coming in. Hey, come on, guys, break it up. Okay, Mark. Okay, you spin him around, Marcus. That's good enough. That's all he did.
Would anybody have cared if they had just quickly broken that up and let it go?
No, because we've seen him do that before.
Come on, we've seen him do it before, and you changed the game.
Yes.
Again, I don't know for a fact that the Clippers would have lost.
Right.
I just believe the way the game was trending, they're up 5. I thought they were playing with such confidence.
They were.
I believe they would have won that game.
Skip, like I said, I don't know. Maybe the Clippers, because the Clippers, you know, can turn it on and they can go on stretches just like the Mavericks went on a 48-14 run. The Clippers are well capable of going on a 30-6 or a big run of themselves because they got guys that can put the ball in the basket and they can turn you over in a hurry. Hence the 5 turnovers in the first 3 minutes by Luka. But to have that big of an impact, the mere fact that we're talking about it, and I can assure you we're not the only ones talking about it, lets you know the impact that Porzingis' technical ejection had